EA Sports. It's in the game.
It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. The thing's bad. Well, good evening. Welcome back, National Soccer League fans. Let's crack open a cold one on a cold spring evening here in Tennessee. The Scouts and the Charioteers will be facing off in just a moment here. Pardon the quick interruption there. It's just a little technical difficulties with our broadcast booth. But again, out here in Memphis, small band of Charioteers fans who have traveled out. They've already been eliminated from the playoffs. And the Scouts have already been confirmed. Just a matter of where will they end up in the playoff standings. If they can get a win here today over the Charioteers, and then the Thunderbirds lose their game later against the Terminators, the Scouts are still in the race for the ASC South Division, which is a crazy thought, but hey, we need to win against the Thunderbirds in the final day to make that a reality. Let's see if they can get step one done, and then they'll have to rely on the Terminators to help them out later. They're old rivals, as we've seen lately. These teams already matched up once in St. Louis. The Charioteers were beaten by a lineup that looked very similar to this. The good news for the Scouts, the return at long last of DeConta Josemi, the captain, finally back in the lineup after 9 games out with an injury, and he could not be returning at a better time. Team back to full strength and trying to build up a little bit of momentum here against their division rivals, heading into a playoff berth that is coming soon. Even if they do not win their final 2 games, they will still be the number 5 seed in the wildcard standings at worst, but they could again push all the way up to the number 2 seed and get a first round bye, home field advantage. Charioteers will have to start dreaming of next season, and it goes from bad to worse. Boston Trader out of this game, and along with him, Seth Wagner ruled out of this game with an illness, so that means it is a makeshift lineup again. Kennedy is back in the side and on the left wing. Other than that, no changes for this team that has been struggling as of late, and it looks like it's going to be the first ever losing season under Alex Foster, the first ever losing season for the Charioteers, unless they can win their final 2 games up against tough opponents in the Charioteers, the Scouts, and the Thunderbirds. It'll be an interesting one no matter what. Every time these two square off, always interesting to see what happens. 2 progenitors of the Thunderbirds. It is the Scouts, it is the Charioteers, and we are live in Memphis as the Scouts get this ball rolling. Cheers to that, y'all. Here's Deleon Crabtree. Hopefully laying up the challenge against Blake Davis. He's had a bit of a rocky season. Here's Wilson with time and space. Picks out his brother, Wallaby Wilson. Markolov's house, right into Stavropoulos. On the way by Rod Steka. Fernandez pokes it on. Playing around in there. Jimenez with DeConta with the handball, it looks like. Restart from the Charioteers, nearly a disaster there. And trying to get forward with Jimenez now. Scored a wonderful goal in the Pioneers game last week where they were defeated to end their season. Against the league leaders, of course. Gallagher's header is not a bad effort, but straight into the arms of Gilberto Sanchez. Positive play from the visitors here who still want to try and keep that record alive. It's going to be a tough ask again. It's the 2 divisional rivals, and here come the Scouts on the way back. Crabtree. Josemi opening it up for Crabtree. Nice 1-2. And now here goes Wilson around the back door. Kennedy defending. It's a corner. It's going to be Zakin and Wilson to take this one on. Actually, it looks like Joe Bunting. After a brief conversation, Wilson trotting back to midfield. In-swinging quarter now from the left back. Charioteers again struggle in the air from these kind of situations. Can the Scouts capitalize from a corner? Swung in low. El Hakimi, not a great clearance, bit of a mix-up with Davis there. Bunting going to get another crack at it here if he wants. Sizing up the challenge. Davis gets a foot in. Here's Juan Fernandez. Maynard stepping away. Long ball over the top, but should be Wallaby Wilson, and good defending. Actually, it's going to be a handball. Chance for the Charioteers in a nice position here. Gallagher, who's been in good goal-scoring form lately. Only scored 4 in the season, but 2 of those coming in his last 2 games. Pretty far out to think about a shot, though. 28 yards. Gallagher alone over this. I think he's going to go for goal, though. And a bad effort, and had Sanchez backpedaling and forces the corner. He tries to hit this at the middle, I think, hoping it's going to swerve one way or another. He's one that keeps Sanchez on his toes, out for another corner. Gallagher creating another chance for his side. First save of the game, or second save of the game, actually. Both on shots from Ronan Gallagher, who now is setting up to take this corner on the far side. Gallagher's ball in a bit of a flat delivery. Mikhailov, a little bit of a mess of it, but Sanchez did well to react quickly and hold on to the ball. It's long now, and Hoover knocks it down. Hakimi back to Stavropoulos. Davis quickly off his foot. Maynard out wide. Hakimi inside. Jimenez back to his feet. Jimenez trying to turn the corner on Balboa and got absolutely bodied. That's a free kick, but referee saying it was shoulder to shoulder. Now here come the scouts the other way. El Hakimi dives in and doesn't get it. Now there's trouble at the back. Here goes Iskander El Ghazawi with Wallaby Wilson ahead of him in space. Cuts back to Altaus instead. Hakimi got a foot in for the time being, but it's still alive here with Crabtree. It's going to be a penalty. It sure is. Bailey Stevenson with the handball in the box. Another classic Charioteers concession here, and it is absolutely a penalty. The arm up and away from the body there. And Jim Hoover back in the lineup for the 3rd straight game with a chance to score against the Charioteers, as he so often does from 12 yards. Hoover up against Eichelman. Hasn't saved a penalty all season. And he doesn't move once again, just stares at it as Hoover coolly slots it home. Shocking goalkeeping from Eichelman, but a fine penalty from Hoover to put the Scouts 1-0 up for their first shot of the game. Well, I don't think even if Eichelman dives, he's getting to this one. That is absolutely nestled into the side corner there. Stevenson, the man who was faulty. And the Scouts, hasn't been a pretty half. The Charioteers have actually maybe outplayed them. They get the chance from the penalty spot, and never in doubt with Hoover from 12 yards. Another goal for him, having a late season resurgence. Number 21 puts him at 5th on the scoring charts for the year. Another long ball from the Charioteers that has really been their Achilles heel this season, just hoofing it forward and not really connecting on a meaningful level with teammates. And now they could be exposed again in quick succession with Zakinin Wilson here on the wing. Davis giving chase. Battle of the Redheads, swept off his feet. Strong challenge, but he says he got the ball. Scouts throwing here. Referee doing a little bit of a Zumba class. I'm not sure what's going on there in front of us. Oh, too easy for Crabtree here. Surely 2-2 or 2-0. Cleared by El Hakimi for now. Altaus unchecked into the box and somehow goes wide. What lovely play from Altaus, positive, and does everything right, but the finish just wide of that far corner. Now the Scouts suddenly turning the pressure on. We got the heat in the kitchen, nearly making it 2-0. With a couple of chances there. Charioteers clinging on for dear life at the moment. Jimenez is offside there from a long way back. That is shocking. And his woes this season continue. It's an awfully tight call, but I think it's the right one in the end from the referee. Scouts send it forward again quickly. Altaus wins the ball in the air again. Oh, an absolute disaster. Stavropoulos playing the fool. Hoovered straight at Eichelman, makes a save. Nails out his back line that time. Just absolutely calamitous at the back. Another header won by the Scouts. Charioteers aren't even trying to go up in the air. And then Gallagher. Hernandez goes long towards Kennedy. Not a bad ball. Kennedy kind of just slowing things down here and just dribbles straight into the defender. Going to come. Hernandez can't get it off his feet. Going to be a throw in for the Scouts now. Nearly half an hour played. It's a 1-0 lead for the Scouts off of a Jim Hoover penalty goal. And other than that, relatively balanced back and forth game. Not a whole lot of shots or attacking play at all to talk about. Nice dummy there from Kennedy, though. And you get a cross in now away from the goalkeeper. Picks out Fernandez instead from close range, and nobody there challenging in the box. Maynard, first touch of the game for him, it feels like hasn't really done a thing. And then Rod Stecker with a poor ball through the traffic, doesn't connect. House waiting for the runners. They're getting free. Stevenson in the way. Kennedy to Maynard. Nods it on for Jimenez. Got to get going here, though. An awful pass from Jimenez. Just shocking play from the Charioteers going forward. Such a good chance, and they made it look so difficult. Another dicey pass. They've just been awful pass selections today, and the Scouts are just outplaying them, hitting to every ball first. Looking for the second goal, searching in behind. Crabtree through the foul. Free runner on the far side is Crabtree. Spins his man now. Eichelman forced into a save, another corner. Decent angle for the keeper. A save he's expecting to make. A little bit of a theatrical keeper, Eichelman. Always making his presence known, whether it's for better or worse. And it is a corner for the Scouts. 10 minutes from time in the first half. To take this again with Wilson checking in short this time. A little bit of a new option, and it goes to Wilson with no one closing him down. Big touch. Kennedy gets there just in time. Needs to get rid of this ball, though. What's he doing? What's he playing out at the back? Kennedy with a nightmare. Hoover to make it 2. Curling effort goes just wide from Jim Hoover. Well, absolutely awful play from Kennedy, and the Charioteers. Again, this has been the issue that's plagued them all season long. Just so careless with the ball and possession. He had all day to make up his mind, and instead he just tries to run through the one defender, and he loses the ball again. Scouts' only thing that's been wrong is the finishing today. They've had 3 shots off target in this first half. Everything else has been great. Winning every single aerial duel. The Charioteers have yet to win a ball in the air. Here's Fernandez on the turn. Clever interception. Gallagher looking it through to Jimenez, and that's overhit. Out for a goal kick. Everything just a little off. Jimenez down there having some words with the Scouts fans here. He needs to get his head in the game. He's lost the plot. Oh, a little bit of a altercation there with Sanchez, maybe. Something to keep an eye on as the game grows. Sanchez going to take this one short. Balboa. Pass through the line to Hoover. He's got it over Stavropoulos. That was nightmarish defending from the Charioteers. Here's El Ghazawi looking to work on Hakimi. That's House. 3 men at the back post is Wilson, and it trickles home. Awful defending from the Charioteers again, and this game is all but over. Wallaby Wilson has the Scouts thinking that maybe the impossible could just be possible after all. The divisional title still in sight. Starts with another defensive mishap at the back. And Stavropoulos at the heart of it all again. Disastrous defending from him, bobbling around. And sets up the counterattack on the wing, and they switch the field so easily. And in the end, it's just passed home from Wilson into the side netting. Once he sees the angle set by the keeper, all he has to do is pick the other side. And just like that, it's 2-0 in quick succession. The Scouts dominating here as they have in this rivalry in recent years. And it looks like the Charioteers' record under Alex Foster-Taylor is going to come to an end. He will have a losing season, and Maynard giving the ball away for absolute peanuts. Just shocking play at the back. And they've given it away again. They're in on goal. It's going to be another penalty here. Unbelievable half for the Charioteers. This is the worst performance I've ever seen. Well, Stavropoulos has had himself an absolute howler in this game, and it continues to go from bad to worse to worst. Hoovered with another chance from the penalty spot. Will Eichelman actually move this time? Let's find out. He does move, and he should have stayed still that time. That about sums it up for him and the Charioteers. Just not very good. This game is over. 3-0 to the Scouts in the first half. Absolutely abysmal performance from the Charioteers in this one. Since that playoff elimination last year in the first round, they have been absolutely disgraceful. And the woes continue. And it is an embarrassing result at the half here. 3-0 already. It could get worse here. It could get ugly for the Charioteers. The Scouts are heaping it on at the moment. Maynard is just so bad. What is he doing? That's the second straight kickoff when they pass him the ball and he gives it away immediately. Actively throwing the game. You gotta at least try to hide your tanking. And there comes Wallaby Wilson. It could be 4. It is 4. Unbelievable. Marco Altaus with a goal. 3 goals in the last 5 minutes from the Scouts. And it's all because of Brandon Maynard. 2 straight kickoffs where he's passed the ball directly to the Scouts. Absolutely awful from the Charioteers. Shocking display. Nothing more to say. Eichelman, absolutely useless, like a flag in the wind, just flapping around. I have to say, you can't really point the finger at him, though. This defense is absolutely wretched. For the Charioteers, the halftime whistle can't come soon enough. And there it is, at long last. A disastrous final 5 minutes and a half. 3 goals conceded. And it's 4-0 to the Scouts here after the opening 45. An absolute disaster of a day. Hoovered with 2 goals from the spot. To see how many goals the Scouts can rack up in this one. I could be thinking about setting some records here. Welcome back, National Soccer League fans. Not much of a game here left on our hands. Another substitution as Fernandez has been taken off for J.J. Cassidy at the break. And Fernandez, in truth, really didn't do anything in that game, which is better than most of his teammates can say, who are actively throwing the game. And they've thrown away the kickoff again here. This is just appalling play. I'm just running out of words. We've seen some bad performances from the Charioteers, but this one takes the lot. Against a division rival, this is just absolutely abhorrent to perform like this. The Scouts are making it look like a recreational team out there. Hoovered on the hat trick here, and he's played it through instead to El Ghazawi. Eichelman able to grab the loose ball. Burhanuddin Saad was also brought on at the break. The Bruneian international defender. So much space in behind the. Look at this, a 3v1 for the Scouts in again. Wow, absolutely horrific. It's another goal. Marco Altaus with his second. It's 5 here for the Scouts. The Charioteers being carved open like a Thanksgiving turkey at the back. Well, it's just plain and simple. Horrific defending. There's no other way to put it. That is absolutely inexcusable for a team at this level to be that bad defensively. And Eichelman with the theatrics again. The ball's already in the back of the net and he's diving like he could still make a save. Where on earth are the Charioteers defenders going? This is absolutely horrific. Much stake has resulted in spinning in a circle. Well, I think anyone watching this performance can say confidently, wholesale changes needed across the board for this team at every single position. Brandon Maynard has been absolutely woeful with the ball at his feet this game. He has not completed a dribble or a pass all game long. The Scouts are looking in scary form at the moment. 4-1 over the Thunderbirds last week, and 5-0 here over the Charioteers. Closing out with a strong statement ending to their regular season. It could get worse here. It certainly is. It's Althaus, and Wallaby Wilson makes it 6. Eichelman pushing it directly back into the attacker's path. The worst ever defeat in Charioteers history, 6-0. And it could get worse. We still got 30 minutes to play here. The wheels completely falling off. This is just horrific defending. I can't keep saying it, but it's true. Stevenson, Stavropoulos, and Saad are absolutely worthless back there. Where are they going? This is the worst performance I have seen from a team all season long. And it could be, mathematically, the worst. The record is 8-0. We definitely could be looking at getting to that record here today. Especially the way the Charioteers are playing. They're just a matter of seconds before they give the ball away to the Scouts in this game. Maynard again with a giveaway. What is he doing? And look at the defensive shape. There's just absolutely none. It's like a bunch of toddlers running forward, and here they go again. Oh my goodness, what are we seeing out here? Substitution for the Scouts. Jenkinson's on for Crabtree. Kennedy, woeful performance, withdrawn. Who are you bringing on? Andrew Bowers. It's not going to get any better. This team is just horrid. Absolutely miserable performance today. The worst season in Charioteers history. The worst loss in Charioteers history. Confirmed on the same day. Another listless ball into the box there. And now here comes Wilson with acres of space. It's a 4-on-2 all of a sudden. Just no one defending. Althaus to make it 7. Eichelman saves. Finally able to do something, but they lose another aerial duel. Look at that. Impressive how bad they are. Another aerial duel lost. Wow, this is incredible. Absolute demolition here. Wilson taking his time, looking to pick a pass. Bowers with all the resistance of a tumbleweed in the wind. Here's Hoover. Oh, nearly made it 7. Maybe should have made it 7. Eichelman beaten again and just trickles wide. A little touch on the crossbar on its way over. The change coming up now. This for the Scouts. It's Leonard McGlavin, the old infamous story of the Charioteers' last man out, cut by Boston Trader on the final round when the team was selected from the Scouts. Looking to get revenge here. Long last, maybe. Nagazawa withdrawn early today. Damage already done for him. Nice clearance at the line by Sanchez. There goes Maynard. Steka, good save from Sanchez. A corner for the Charioteers. It was just an apoplectic header from Stavropoulos there. And Sanchez able to catch it like he's playing a game of pickup basketball in the backyard. Bunting with so much space, he doesn't even know what to do with himself. Just walking forward like a Sunday stroll. Certainly at this point looks like a clean sheet for the Scouts as well. Be their 3rd of the season. And this absolute humiliation. Look at the defending from the Charioteers here. Wow. acres of space, and Burhanid inside. The right back is having to come all the way into the middle of the field. Just nobody there. Where are they all going? It's like they're on holiday. Bowers has a run in him. Here he goes. Cross is really nothing doing there, though, and this is surely going to be a lost header. Sure enough, it is. Maynard going to try from range, pushed wide by Sanchez for a corner. Seems the Scouts have finally taken their foot off the gas, allowing a little bit of pressure from the Charioteers here. Actually threatening maybe to get on the score sheet. Another corner. Look at this. First, I got to change for the Scouts. Final of the day. Bobby Wilson's day is done. What a performance from him. Alejandro Cruz comes on. 2 assists and a goal on the day. It's just a lottery of who they want to give the man of the match to. Steka tries the bicycle kick, and there's a penalty for the Charioteers. I would bet my life savings on this one being missed, though. Rod Steka joking around with a bicycle kick and bunting. A sympathy call from the referee. Stavropoulos to take it. With the horror showing he's had at the back, it would be fitting for him to miss this penalty as well. He scores it. No clean sheet for the Scouts. And what a pillock he is. Down 6-1, celebrating like that. This is a sorry state for the Charioteers to be in right now. Tough times. Players have gone delirious, it seems. That's the third penalty goal of the season for Stavropoulos, the captain. And silver lining, maybe, if you can call it that. Even more like a tin lining. Tin pot club. This Charioteers team is 6-1 on the scoreline. The Scouts maybe looking to make it 7. They still got time. They've already inflicted the worst ever defeat on their crosstown rivals, and Althaus is skipping through this Charioteers backline like a field of daisies. Here goes Gallagher. Crosses in towards Jimenez. Not a bad header. Good save from Sanchez. Another corner for the Charioteers. Steka to take. Stevenson wins a header, and Sanchez able to save with the help of the crossbar. Here's Balboa. Scouts are going to get forward one more time, maybe. Here goes Althaus, thinking about the hat trick, maybe. Here he goes. For the byline. Here's Josemi. Stevenson fooling around with it and going to be off Cruz on the last touch of the goal kick. What the frick? Well, a sign of the times, a shifting of the guard. Charioteers' dominance of the AFC South is clearly over, and a rebuild is needed. 2 titles from 2015 to 2016, dethroned by the Terminators and now being dethroned by their own divisional counterparts, the Thunderbirds and the Scouts in the ascendancy in this division. Charioteers are falling down mightily. Bowers shot straight at Sanchez, greedy take, and easily saved in the end. Cruz getting tricky with it now. Jenkinson. Josemi. Scouts will have one more chance next week to push for that number 2 seed. But the Thunderbirds will be in action later tonight, in all likelihood, against the Terminators. And if they win, they will clinch their division, and the Scouts will be left to have to deal with the 5th place seed. Althaus in for the hat-trick to make it 7, and he has! There it is! The hat-trick completed. Eichelman beat once again. He's conceded 7 goals in this game. Absolutely horrific performance. Nothing more to say. Just watch it. If you're a Charioteers fan, you better take shelter. If you're a Scouts fan, you should be celebrating in the streets, as these are the best of times for your team. Flashbacks for Charioteers fans of the Brazil-Germany game in the World Cup of 2014. Very similar feeling. 7-1 demolition of a once great squad that has been absolutely embarrassed by an efficient, well-oiled machine here in the Scouts. And there is, at long last, the pity-seeking full-time whistle for the Charioteers. 7-1 on the scoreline. The Scouts demolish the Charioteers. Embarrassing performance across the board. Marco Altaus and co having their way with this back line in the worst ever defeat for the Charioteers, and the second worst defeat of the season, only bested by the Orcas' opening 8-0 loss on the opening day. I'll leave you here with the full match highlights. It's a little bit one-sided. We'll be back with the Thunderbirds and Terminators in our final game of tonight in Week 24 action in just a moment. Well, actually, might be a little while, I'm not sure. Anybody want to trade teams? How is he getting a 5.2? He conceded 7 goals. I gotta look at that. That is just what? 4 saves, 7 goals conceded, and he gets a 5.2? Who's making these numbers up? It's wild. Wow. Saved every single shot. That's pretty cool.